5 and welcome to Thursday's maths lesson with me, Miss Medlicott. In today's lesson we're going to be understanding about the thousandth column. So that means that we're looking at decimal numbers 1, 2, 3 places, up to 3 places to the right of the decimal point. So to start, I'd like you please to have a little look what is on the screen. You can see we've got a 100 square and I've split the 100 square into one. If you've got one per square, you've got 10 smaller squares. So actually here you've got thousandths represented. So what I'd like you to do first of all is to find 1/10 of this entire shape. Remember that this entire 100 square is one whole. So find a tenth. How many tenths make one whole? Find a hundredth. How many hundredths make a tenth? And now I'd like you to find a thousandth, and how many thousandths make a hundredth, okay? So try to have a little go at this using the picture to help you. Okay, so here are the answers. So find a tenth. So I've marked that out in this kind of bluey colour. So that's a tenth, including that orange bit there. So 10 tenths make a whole. We find a hundredth, that's in orange there. So how many hundredths make a tenth? Well, we can see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of those would make a tenth. Now find a thousandth. How many of those make a hundredth? And that would be 10. Can you see that little purple block there? 10 of those would make 1/100th. Very well done if you've got those answers correct. Make a note of those answers, please, in your workbooks. Pause the video now to do so. Okay, so now we're going to look at how many thousandths make 1/10, okay? And how many thousandths make 2/10. Pause the video to have a go. And the answer is 100. So 100 thousandths make 1/10. So 100 of those little squares make up one of those tenths. How many thousandths make up 2/10? Well, we double that, times it by 2, so it makes it 200. Very well done if you got that correct. So, as a warm-up, another warm-up, match the decimal to the correct base 10 representation. So you've got a little key here in the sort of pink square, pink rectangle. That is one of the wholes. That would be 1/10, that would be 100th, and that would represent a thousandth. So just use that as your kind of key, your guide. Which representation matches which? Pause the video to have a go. And here are your answers. Correct, so this would be 0.01 200ths and 1 2,000ths. This representation, if this is 1/10, we've got 2 of those and no hundredths, but we have 2,000ths. So we'd write that 0.202. That leaves this one here. So we've got 1/10, 2/10, 200ths and 2,000ths. So that's 0.222. Very well done if you got those correct. And now for a little bit of reasoning. Trudy, Jake and Remy have drawn images to represent the decimal number 0.045. Who has made an error? What decimal have they represented? Okay, so Trudy has made this particular representation, Jake has made this one, and Remy has used these counters here. So who has made an error trying to make the number 0.045? So remember your key is down below for the base 10 representations. This is a whole, that would be a tenth, that would be a hundredth, and that would be a thousandth. So what do you think? Pause the video to answer the questions. And the answers are now on the screen. So Jake is the one who is correct. He's got 0.045. That is the correct one. Jake has got that. We can see he's got his, he hasn't got any tenths there, but he's got 4 hundredths and 5 thousandths. So that is correct. Trudy, on the other hand, has written 4 tenths, hasn't she, and 5 hundredths. And that would give her an answer of 0.45. So that's not correct. Remy has used place value counters. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 tenths, so 0.4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not hundredths, but thousandths. So he's made an error because he's put 0.405. So So that leaves Jake with the correct answer. Very well done if you got that correct. Okay then, so for your independent activity, your green chili pepper challenge is as you see on the screen. So remember, people, to use the key to help you with the pictorial representation to match it with either the fraction or the decimal. Yellow, you have some digit cards that I want you to rearrange so that it fits this criteria that you're going to create 3 different decimal numbers with 3 decimal places. So that's tenths, hundredths and thousandths. Each number must be greater than 0.3 but less than 0.6. So find all 3 possible sets of numbers. Pause the video to have a go at this one. And then red, you're going to be counting in thousandths. Right, the next 3 consecutive numbers. So consecutive is one straight after the other, but you're counting in thousandths. So that's a nice little activity for you. Pause the video to have a go. And your answers for green, here we are. Well done if you got those correct. So it would be a C. 1 whole 200ths and 3 thousandths. Well done. Pause the video to make your corrections. Yellow, those are your possible answers. Pause the video to make your corrections. And red, here are your answers. Very well done if you got those correct, increasing by 1,000th each time. Very well done if you got those correct. And then last part for today's lesson is some problem solving. So Jerry has written a decimal number. My number has no whole ones. The tenths digit is 4 more than the thousandths digit. The hundredths digit is double the thousandths digit. Find all the possible solutions. Now have a think about what the possibilities could be, reading Jerry's statements about his number carefully. Okay, pause the video to have a go. Very well done if you got any of these correct. So the possible solutions were 0.521. Because as you can see, the tenths digit is 5, the thousandths digit is 1, and the hundredths digit is double the thousandths digit. So that would work, wouldn't it? 0.642 is another possibility that would work. 0.763 and then 0.884. Fantastic if you got any of those correct. Remember, Year 5, if you want to go back in the lesson and have another go at some of the questions, to revisit any parts that you need to, don't hesitate to do so. Thanks very much for all your hard work and effort. I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.